I made an adjustable power supply and open sourced it on JLCPCB's Engineers Room platform. After open sourcing, I saw many people in the comment section asking how it was made. Today, I'll make a simple assembly video, hoping it will be helpful to those who are interested. I used a unibody case here. The reason for choosing the unibody case is that it has no seams on the body, making it more aesthetically pleasing. And this size is just perfect. When placing the order, you can choose your favorite color. After that, you only need to pay a few UN for shipping. If you share it with 3 people to register, you can get free shipping. After placing the order, the case will arrive in about 10 to 15 days. The list of components needed to assemble this adjustable power supply. I have listed it out. Interest in France can purchase according to this list. The total cost is less than 80 UN. The prepared components are as shown in the picture. Be careful not to buy the wrong ones, especially the 2XT60 connectors. This is the front component layout for assembly. This is the rear component layout for assembly. When assembling, just follow this layout. Below, we will start assembly using a blue case. First is this cooling fan. We need to embed M3 nuts into the mounting holes. Then press them down firmly. Embed M3 nuts into all 4 mounting holes, and then install it on the rear panel. Installing the other components is very simple. Just fix them with screws. Here, I'll focus on fixing the PD trigger module. I'm using hot glue to fix it here. First, set the DIP switches on the trigger module to the position shown. This will trigger a 20 volts output. Of course, this assumes your PD input supports the 20 volts output protocol. Then place the PD trigger module at the hole where it will be fixed. Insert a data cable for positioning. Then start using hot glue to fix the area around the trigger module's port. You don't need to use too much glue. Just secure the perimeter firmly. Similarly, the front-facing 3580 fast charge module is also fixed using hot glue. When fixing the 3518 fast charge module, be careful not to use too much hot glue to prevent the hot glue from flowing into the USB charging port. A simple ring of glue is sufficient. Then the most critical step comes. Use a soldering iron to pick up some solder, then directly place it near the port and heat the aluminum alloy panel, causing the hot glue to melt. This will make the hot glue adhere very firmly. Moreover, after the hot glue melts, you can slightly adjust the position of the port to align the hole more accurately. Similarly, heat the panel for the PD trigger module on the rear cover. Adjust the position of the PD trigger module's Type-C interface so the hole aligns properly. Next is installing the adjustable power supply module. Just snap it into place. After installation, we start wiring. First, prepare red and black wires. Apply solder to the positions that need welding to make it easier. Connect all output interfaces in parallel. Be very careful not to reverse the positive and negative poles. Then start soldering the input connection wires. All inputs are also connected in parallel. But be careful, the output of the PD trigger module needs to be connected to a diode first, before being connected in parallel with the DC input. Purpose is to prevent backflow from the DC input. Connect it to the last one. Use one connector to parallel, connect the interfaces, and the connection wires. Then start soldering the input connection wires. All inputs are also connected in parallel. But be careful, the output of the PD trigger module needs to be connected to a DOD first, before being connected in parallel with the DC input. The purpose is to prevent backflow from the DC input, which could burn out the trigger module. Connect all inputs in parallel, then connect them in series with the rocker switch. The rocker switch acts as the main input switch. The other end of the switch and the negative pole serve as a positive and negative of the input wires. Finally, prepare 2 more wires and solder them to the input wires of the 3518 fast charge module. Then we can start assembling. Take out the pre-prepared splitter cable for the cooling fan power. Then we can start assembling. Take out the pre-prepared splitter cable for the cooling fan power. Then we can start assembling. Okay, the splitter cable for the cooling fan power. Unplug the original fan power cable from the adjustable power supply module. Plug in the splitter fan power cable. Connect one end to the fan that comes with the adjustable power supply, and the other end is used to connect to the cooling fan on the rear panel. Then connect the input and output wires to the adjustable power supply module respectively. Be careful not to connect them wrongly. The input of the 3580 in fast charge module can be connected to the input of the adjustable power supply, or to the output of the adjustable power supply. Each connection has its advantages and disadvantages. If connected to the input, you cannot see the power consumption of the fast charge module. If connected to the output, when the adjustable power supply voltage is set too low, the fast charge module won't work. If the adjustable power supply voltage is set too high, it might burn out the fast charge module, because the maximum voltage for the 3580 fast charge module is around 32 volts. I personally recommend connecting the input of the fast charge module in parallel with the input of the adjustable power supply. The input voltage of the adjustable power supply should be less than 32 volts. 24 volts is recommended. This way, the fast charge module can work anytime, and high power fast charging can be achieved. After the outputs are connected, start assembling the case. First, confirm the orientation of the front and rear panels. Then connect from the rear panel. Connect the splitter fan power cable from earlier. Then fix the rear panel screws. Next, connect the input wires. Take the two input wires left from the rear panel and connect them to the input of the adjustable power supply module. Be careful not to reverse the polarity. After connecting, you can install the front panel. Just fix it with 4 screws. After the panel is installed, stick rubber feet on the bottom. Choose rubber feet that are 2 millimeters thick. The rubber base can prevent the case from getting scratched. And also, most importantly, it allows airflow through the small holes in the aluminum bottom, so air can enter the interior of the adjustable power supply, thus providing better heat dissipation. After assembly is complete, you can start testing. I am using a Xi'an Z15 volts 5A switching power supply here as the input power supply, using the DC output with alligator clips to charge the capacitor spot welder. My capacitor spot welder uses 3 2.7 volts supercapacitors in series. The series voltage is 8.1 volts, and I set it to 7.6 V here. You can see the current can reach up to 6.1 A, and the voltage gets higher as it charges. After reaching the set voltage, the current starts to decrease. Adjustable power supply powered current starts to decrease. Adjustable power supply function test, okay? I named this adjustable power supply the Lethal Tester 3000, not because it's particularly dangerous, but because it's assembled from various modules, giving it a seemingly impressive appearance. But it's actually very simple. The rotating shot of the adjustable power supply shown at the beginning didn't show an input source, but the screen showed a voltage display. That's because, for convenience of demonstration, one installed a 12 volts lithium battery inside, since there is still quite some space inside this case. Interested friends can also consider building in a battery themselves. I am an amateur enthusiast. There might be some parts that are unclear or not professional enough. Please, bear with me. If any professional friends see this, please feel free to correct and answer questions. Thank you, everyone.